Okay, we're back in session. This is at 4 o'clock. We're here for BOE. We recognize and support your right to come register your concerns and appeal the appraisals that are given. Our duty is to hear both sides and make a determination based upon the facts as we see them. The assessor must assess values at market value on all properties in Bannock County. The appeal process gives a property owner the chance to appeal said value before this board. If, for some reason, the decision rendered does not meet with your satisfaction, we encourage you to file an appeal with the State Board of Tax Appeals. Another option available to you is relief through the district courts. It is imperative that you focus on property valuation and not on protesting your taxes. We'll ask our deputy clerk, Nancy Allen, to swear you in.
I do.
So, Mr. Elliott?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to turn the time over to you. You'll have 3 minutes to state your appeal, and then we can ask some questions, and then I'll allow the appraiser 3 minutes, and then we can ask questions, and then we'll come back and allow you 2 more minutes, and then the board will discuss, ask questions, and come to a conclusion. Please state your full name and your 3 minutes begin.
Very good. My name is Melvin R. Elliott. I live at 510 Canyon Drive here in Pocatello, Idaho. Just basically some real quick facts. I've had a taxable value increase of 31.3% over last year. I've had, even though it's not really relevant, I've had a total tax increase of almost 39% increase in just my taxes that I'm supposedly going to pay. And I checked the calculator today, so I hope that 39% is accurate. So really what I want to talk about is the notion of the 31% increase in my taxable value. Really, I did some research and I couldn't really, you can't come up with sales data. You just can't. And so what I did is I actually talked to a real estate agent, and also I noticed an article from the Pocatello Realtors Association that talked about the first quarter of 2020, and that was stated at 10% increase first quarter. And then the Ann at Remax, she said what they're seeing is 10 to 15% increases. That's been what she's been seeing, and so that's why for me around 15% is a little closer to what it should be, in my opinion, than 31% increase. And that's pretty much all I have to say in reality. I don't have any hard data. I haven't sold my house. No one around me sold their house. So it's just, anyway, that's really what it is.
Thank you. Question?
No question.
Your 3 minutes.
Thank you. In reviewing this home, we show the home to be one-story single-family home built in 1979 of average quality and average condition. It does look like the appellant had a chance to speak with one of our appraisers. It looks like they found, when they reviewed the details of the home, they found one small correction that I think the appellant spoke to. It lowered the assessed value from $239.97 down to $229.898. From the notes that I had from that appraiser, it looks like they were just not able to find any other details that could be corrected or modified in regards to the home. So when we look at the actual value of the home at the $229, for a home of that nature, it certainly falls in line with what we have seen happen in the sales market, only up through January 1st of 2020, or sorry, January 1st, 2021. So we didn't see any additional opportunities for correction, so our recommendation would be that we lower the value down to the $229.898.
Okay. Comments back?
I can't remember that it was quite that much we dropped off. It was just it was like one bath to 3/4 anyway. Yeah. $10 grand, I don't remember that. Anyway, I know what you're talking about on your comps, on the comparables, but really to me,
Okay, you need to direct all questions right here. Thank you.
when I talked to the assessor, he gave me this list of comparables, and I know what they're talking about. What the deal is they lumped a whole 5 different, well, 5 other properties, very similar assessments, and lo and behold, they're all 4-bedroom and 2-bath and 2-car garage. But that, like, to me, that's not necessarily, in my opinion, a way to establish value. The way to establish value is sales, not some engineering program that says X square feet, X bathrooms is worth $14,599. Anyway, that's the only point I have to make on that. And so I really can't dispute what he's saying. I'm just saying that I didn't really agree with the comps that they showed me. Anyway, just another note.
Okay. Thank you. I go back to my favorite sheet here, residential. It's confusing to me. In 2019, looks like we raised it in BOE.
20?
Yeah.
I see that as well, and I don't have it without, excuse me, without digging into that year's adjustment. I can't really speak to what could be the explanation.
You can see my confusion.
Could it have been a possible double trend? Is what it looks like.
Typically, when the values that the adjustments to lower that were a trend they would have that BOE signifier, and we only have the one on there, but on the regular 5-year reval, we do have 2.
And that's why I say, I wonder if this one was one that it passed through and didn't get caught.
So there is certainly a chance there. It would need some kind of a deep dive to find it. This one has been sketched just new for this year, so this year's value is based off of the sketch, so it's not a trended value from anything historic.
I would go back to kind of what we're seeing here, kind of what, we've established. I mean, looking at the 15%, 30-something%, I get it. This very well could be. This one might just be one that's an outlier that might be turned up a little much, or might not. I definitely think that as of January 1, the value as the 229 might be very well today, but I think that we might have a little. I would say we apply a 15% to it. And for parcel RPR PHLS005400, we apply a 15% indicator to the corrected value, and that would give a value of $201,250 to be taken off of the improvement.
Did you do that on the 173?
Yes, I did. 175.
I did it on the 175, which would be the federal.
Yeah, 175. I just did 175. Whoops, 750 is not a good number to use.
It was 202, 286.
There you go. I will take that as a friendly number.
86.
Yes, 202, 286.
Do we have a motion?
Yep.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So, sir, your value is put at 201, 286.
202.
Or 202. Okay. 202, 286.
202, 286.
Yep.
It's basically it's the subtotal, and then there'll be an exemption, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, good enough, okay, all right.
287, the adjustment coming up. Or up to 287.
Yep.
Must have gone down on that one.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you guys, appreciate it. I'm happy.
Good.
See, we're not that bad at
More than
people.
people think. We like that.
I get it, thank you.
Okay. Next, I'd like to go back to the parcel we talked about with Erica Dye. RPR 4015032003. They did go talk to the assessor's office, and the suggestion from the assessor's office is what?
So we are gonna go from a category 12 back to a category 5. I don't have an actual value for it right now, but we're gonna move it
Ag
back to
exemption
dry
is
ag.
being,
Yeah.
okay.
put on
Or
the
dry
ag
grazing, sorry.
exemption.
Yep.
We have a motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion, we accept the assessor's request to put the ag exemption back on the property with the amount to be forthcoming.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And thank you for taking care of that so quickly.
Thank you.
Okay. Doesn't look like Orlando has showed up.
We're done with all our admins for the day, right?
Yep.
I would say give him 3 minutes to 15, and then if it's not, it's 15 minutes. And,
Look it over, just like we did the others that have not showed up. The assessor's office, you have anything on this one?
We received, I want to say, maybe 1 or 2 appeals in a similar nature to this last year. It gets into the discussion about what constitutes a manufactured home versus a stick-built home. When we look at a Boise Cascade home, where for all intents and purposes, it's a stick-built home built off-site and then trailered in. When we look at the market data, the market sells that every day as a stick-built home, so we assess those every day as a stick-built home. It's not something that sits on a chassis.
does it have Freddie or Fannie tags?
No.
Okay.
And so these are ones that, we do get this question every year. There are plenty of homeowners that own them. I own one, we have appraisers that own them. But there are people out there that consider them a manufactured home because they were built off-site. Our office does not. We consider
The manufacturer
It's a stick
didn't
built.
either. They didn't consider them
Yeah.
mobile homes.
And
Boise Cascade.
there's no market data that would support us comparing these to a mobile home of any kind.
I do.
That one is a little bit more than the 15% increase would be the only issue I would have with that one.
Oh, and that's, like I said,
The 15% increase would take it to 251.9. If my math is correct. 251.9, that's based off of the correction, not last year's BOE.
yeah. And again, I'm trying to, kind of my tests of what I'm seeing is in that 15 to 25% range of where are we at? I mean, are we high, are we low? Are we seeing, is this gonna be the outlier in the neighborhood, or is this gonna be the underlier in the neighborhood? And I follow kind of Jeff with your,
Jason, could you, I know we talked about this earlier, but it's late and my mind is not connecting the dots again. Could you refresh my mind, what's that correction column of 4 again on that?
On the value
worksheet?
history.
Yeah.
So, when in ProVal, when we are getting ready to get assessments sent out every year, when we post those values, there is a reason code that we choose. The typical one is a 5-year reval. That's
Right.
what you see
Yep.
in the historical data, even as early as 2019. So, when we did that last year, we uncovered, I want to say, 1 or 2 last-minute changes that had a broad impact. And so at that time, the advice from our IT side of the tax commission was that we don't simply erase what we did, we simply post it under this one, so that if we ever had to go back and look at anything, we have the data. So that was something that we got a lot of questions on last year, and we continue to get questions on because it says correction, but it was the only assessment notice that was sent
It
out.
was the 2020.
Yeah.
So on this one, and I just looking at the land, the way it jumps up and down. I mean, it's the same property. Why would it drop to 49,000 from 60,000?
So with land,
And then back
There-
up to 60. I mean,
so when the land initially all converted over, it converts over, it's not any sort of land schedule. Now, for rural land, we have a land schedule that we've been putting it on. For properties in cities, we've been developing residential land schedules. Additionally, we're developing commercial land schedules. So until we have them all on a land schedule for an area, they will typically look at, is there an influence that needs to be applied to bring the land in that area in general up or down? What you probably had happen here is at some point, actually I can verify. So looking at it, it is still a converted land value. It's not on a land schedule. So last year, our analysts had probably identified a negative land influence for that area that brought those values down. And then this year, when we reanalyzed, we said we can't substantiate keeping that, so let's pull it off.
Just, as I see that go up and down and up and down, it just,
And those are
I can
good-
see why people get confused.
Oh, absolutely. And those are good questions, because when we analyze the ratio of the land buildings with residential, I think what we're gonna see over time, even if the market stays flat, as we get better sales data about those land sales, we may end up seeing land values creep up and improvement values go down, which will probably bring it to a little more balance of a ratio. But that could certainly happen. And those ratios, obviously we can't use those in the commercial world, because with a commercial property, you can have a half-acre site with a $2 million improvement and a half-acre site with a $20 million improvement. So ratios kind of go out the window there.
And then the other thing that it concerns me a little bit, we're making decisions over here with people that aren't coming in. Are we positive that your office hasn't made an agreement out there somehow with these individuals? And if they have, you know what I'm saying?
What's the check?
If there was something...
Didn't get sent to an email that hasn't been checked?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if there was something that was agreed upon, we'll see a different worksheet value in there. Well, not agreed upon, rather, but if we find corrections, we don't make those corrections contingent on anything. We say, we're gonna fix it. You still have your rights, but we are gonna go ahead and fix it either way.
Okay. I don't want to be doubled, each side deciding. Ultimately, it would come down to what we decide here. But I don't want to cause extra work either. So on that one, we need a,
Do we want to go off the BOE number or the correction number? BOE number puts it at 229, 221, which I feel pretty good about that one.
Yeah.
okay. Total then?
All right, so, Mr. Chair, I make a motion that on parcel RPBAE 000500, that we give it the 15% correction over last year's BOE, which takes it to 229,221. 229,000.
Hold on one second. So the BOE was from 2019, and then there was a correction, so that was 2 years old.
You're right, so that should be the 2020.
I'd take it up to 2019.
That
because
is correct.
If that's for that.
Do you have that number, Terrell?
Um,
If not, we'll just do it.
just do a, oops, hold on. What'd you get?
I get 251,873.
Yep.
Okay, Mr. Chair, I changed my motion, or amend my motion to a total of 251,873.
We have a motion on the floor. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. With that being said, do we have to go out of BOE, or does he just not adjourn?
We can adjourn.
Actually, we probably have to, because tomorrow we're going to go to business meeting first, don't we?
We're staying adjourned or
Okay.
done for today.
Well, with that, we are adjourned.
Motion to adjourn is non-debatable, as long as you have, if nobody